All right, everybody. I know I have many new customers on my group. I also have many new customers that we added this year. But this is a great little learning video here. I'm going to teach you how I send back stuff to the factory. If you are a Cutco Black Card member, this is a complimentary service I do provide for you, where I can actually send you pretty much everything you need to send your stuff back to the factory. If you don't know what a Black Card member is, or if you are not a Black Card member but you need help, message me, comment, text me, 314-541-4471, or email me, and I'll be glad to send you as much information as I can, the address, the form, and a couple other things that'll help expedite the service. So when we take back knives, I mean, we serviced over 3,000 knives last year. And we get people that do all kinds of stuff. This was a melted handle. So Cutco's burning point's up to about 375, 400 degrees. 350 is where it'll actually get a little nick. So it'll get a little kind of little nick like that. But where it'll truly melt is I think it's 375 where it'll actually start to melt. So I'm just going to kind of show you a couple things here. So if you actually get Cutco, it never hurts to keep these sheets and put them like in a Ziploc bag and keep them somewhere in your drawer, because this is a good service to take advantage of every 3 to 5 years. I always tell people the DD edges, what you actually want to look for on the DD edge is the teeth. So this is a pretty bad one here where it's completely worn off. The tip is broken. So this one here is going to need a true factory refurbish. They'll probably just end up replacing it at the factory. That's what's great about Cutco, because it's melted, the tip is chipped. So Cutco's warranty literally covers everything. The only time they would ever charge you half price is if you intentionally ruined it and you wrote them a note and said, we destroyed it because we were opening up cans of paint and doing a paint relay race. They would offer 50% refund. But in my 17 years at Cutco, I've only seen 1 or 2 people have to pay 50% if they ruin their Cutco purposely. So Cutco will pretty much replace and return everything. So rule number 1 is always have a rep. You know, if I'm your rep, always reach out. I know many of you are local to St. Louis or the Midwest, and I provide what we call a service events at hotels. This is a service that I will actually help you with at hotels and at shows. But if you're like in another state or overseas, I'd be glad to assist you with the process via text, email, Facebook. So once again, what you want to look for on your knives is the DD edge. If you start to see those DD edges getting really rounded and flat, that's a reminder you want, hey, how you can see my reflection there. That's a reminder of when you want to actually send in your stuff to the factory. So standard edge on the DD for warranty is, I mean, you could send them in every year, then the knives will get ground down pretty deep. I would say about every 3 to 5 years is good to get a full factory refurbish if you want to take advantage of, you know, the money you spent on Cutco. But I've seen people go 10, 20 years. So another little thing here that you can look for, because sometimes people never know, but right here on the blade, there's a 4-digit code on most of the knives. Some of the older ones, they won't have the code or it'll be faded away. So you can always take a picture and send me a picture. But if you're watching this and you're local to my service area, or you know I come to your town once or twice a year for a show or an event, you can literally bring your knives in a bag or a toter in your block, and I will be glad to help you with this. But I get text message, emails every day, people inquiring this, so I'd be glad to help you that way too. So right here is the trimmer. So that's 1721, and then KV. So if you actually want to know the year your knife is, the K's were the 2000, and then you count the second letter. So V, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. So that's 20. UV. So this was a brand new knife that was made for pretty much, I had a customer want to exchange the color and they just mailed me this back. So this was basically, it's like cars, you know, it says 22, but it was made in 21. That's a good rule of thumb if you're trying to date your Cutco. So that's one we had to exchange a color, which is something I do for people that have new Cutco or just recently purchased. So on your scissors, what do you want to look for in the scissors? So this one actually has a grab here where it's got a nick in it. So the scissors actually don't dull because it's got a micro edge. So this is not sharp. A lot of people think, oh, my scissors are dull. So a good little test on the scissors is if it kind of doesn't like cut cardboard or paper. So this one actually, I mean, the scissors are built like a tank, so it's very rare to ruin these. But this one actually had, if you can kind of see it here, a couple little nicks in it. And I call this the pressure test. And you guys could all do this on your own scissors at home. If it kind of grabs, like right now there's a little grab, that there's something wrong with this. So Cutco's going to realign it or replace it. So if your scissors open and close nice and there's no little nicks or grabs, your scissors will last you 10, 20 years. Most of my customers have the pocket knife. This is a brand new one here, but let's say you wanted to send in your pocket knife. To get that DD edge nice and sharp, Cutco will regrind it. But yeah, there's so many different things that, you know, Cutco will service. So like this is somebody sent me a broken one. We ended up replacing that. If you guys have onesie twosies that are nicked, damaged, melted, or broken, you could just send me a picture and I'll just send you a new one and then you send me the product. But if you want to take advantage of the full service, I have these forms, which I will send you out a form with all my info here, which will activate you as my rep if you don't have a rep. If you are my customer, it just updates your records. Then you basically fill out this info, and I'll actually have this on a PDF file. And if you have to send back your Cutco, let me grab my business card real quick. This is on my business cards, but you can see it right here. The factory address, which is very easy. It's on Cutco's website, my website. I can also send that to you. But if you had to send your stuff back and you weren't a Black Card member or you're not one of my clients, it's 1 to 5 items is $9. This is for the return shipping. 6 to 10 is 11. 11 to 25 is 13. And then 26 to 40 items, which would be like a homemaker or signature, an ultimate set is $16. So literally you can get your whole set serviced for a return shipping fee of $13. I got a feeling this is going to raise this year because COVID has brought everything through the roof. But I mean, that's just the return shipping. And to send your knives in, there's a few ways you can do it. If you have a set, my favorite way is the medium flat rate box, because I think this thing right now is like $16, and it's deep enough to actually fit pretty much a whole set. Because like if you have, like this is a customer at the fishing show this weekend, Chet, who's got a bunch of knives here. He's got 2 or 3 pairs of scissors. We already filled out his form. So something like this would fit with plenty of space in the flat rate box. So that's one of my favorite boxes to use because you could literally send a whole homemaker, signature, and ultimate set and some extra gadgets, and even like a smaller medium board would actually fit in here. So if you don't have me and you're not coming to any of my events, I would say pick up 1 or 2 of these at the post office. Or if you recently purchased Cutco, a lot of my customers will save their little boxes. It wouldn't hurt to keep one of these in the garage or somewhere because this is kind of the perfect length. And then it'll actually fit, you know, most people's knives that you're going to have to send into the factory. And if you're like, I don't have access to any of that, I'll be glad to help. Send me a message, reach out to me. So let's say you're going to send some stuff back. So that's actually what I'm doing. So this is all stuff that I'm going to send back. So once again, you fill out your info. And then let's say you don't know the item numbers or the codes. So all the blades actually have the item number on them if they're post 1980. So like if I was going to send back this lock back, that would be 1891, but this is brand new. I'm going to just use that to open up boxes. So let's go with this one here. So this is the table knife. So let's just kind of say you've never done this before. You fill out the form, and they actually have a form you can fill out. And then C or W or R would be the color. Description is table knife. And then I always put replace dash make like new. So one of the things I've learned over my 17 years is Cutco will replace it if there's pretty much any damage to it. If there is no damage and it just needs a little tune-up, they will polish it, buff it, make it like new. So if you come see me or you come to an event, I have all this stuff to make it real easy for you. But if you're somewhere in a state that I don't service, message me. I'll be glad to send you all this with all the proper steps. So our scissors that we got, these are pretty nicked. So we're going to put these on our service repair. 77R for red, super shears. And once again, we're going to put replace, make like new, because Cutco will decide if they need to replace it or make like new. And some of these sheets, if you didn't keep your sheets, one cool thing is you can actually call Cutco, and they actually will send you out some sheets if you know the item numbers. They'll also send out rubber feet for the cutting boards and rubber feet for the wood blocks. So this customer said their can opener was skipping, jumping, which one thing I always say, this has a moving part, a motor. This thing's 99% efficient, but once in a while it does get a warranty claim or two. So I ended up sending them a new one. If you have a can opener that's skipping or jumping and you have one item, obviously I will make it as easy as possible on you for service. So that's another thing about having a rep. And I can't promise this service for any other rep except me, because Cutco really wants you to do it for liability's sake, but I'm a 17-year career rep. We'll make sure that your stuff is all in good hands. So this was actually a brisket knife here, the Santoku carver, and they melted it. We already got their warranty claim. So this is a 3729C, that's an 8-inch carver, and I have these all memorized. You can always go right on our website and figure that out yourself. And then once again, if you don't have these sheets and you don't want to wait, this is another great little tip here is you take a cereal box and you can make a little sheath with the cereal box. So one thing you don't ever want to do is just send in these knives and have them poke through. They actually don't want you sending them in bubble envelopes either. So let's just say this one didn't have a sheath. So it kind of match it up like this and then kind of bend it over a couple times here. And that'll give me, if you can kind of see that there, that'll give me what I call is like a little makeshift sheath. So if you have cereal boxes or boxes of pasta or something like that, that's a great way to make a makeshift sheath. And then you bring it over. And then I would not use duct tape. Obviously, these are human beings at the factory. You want to make their job as easy as possible. Let's not make their job super hard. I like masking tape or painter's tape. You can use packaging tape, and you're going to see that it comes up and down like that. So if you're making your own sheath, obviously there's going to be a human that's delivering it. There's a human that's taking it to the post office, and then there's a human at the factory that's going to be opening it. So we don't want them to get hurt. So let's say you had to make your own sheath, and that was a petite carver that was pretty dull. But once again, on all of these, I always put, and if you come see me or you have any questions, reach out to me. I will get your knives back like brand new. That's one thing I will tell you. I can't guarantee you that every single thing will be replaced because Cutco's, we're efficient. We're not just sending new knife sets out to everybody. But what's cool about Cutco is if something's like this is going to be pretty much either ground down to be like brand new, or because this got a little melt mark, they'll probably just send me a new one here. This is a trimmer, and that's a 1721. So once again, guys, service is one of my favorite things to help people with because when you take advantage of service, you really get to see the power of the warranty. So then you would fill out the rest of this. You put the date on there. Maybe the date's a little bit off. And if you're not a Black Card member and you're not somebody who's bought from me, you're going to want to put a check made out to Cutco or a credit card number, and that would be for the return shipping. And that's for the cost of return shipping. And then this is the address you're going to want to send it to. So if you're doing this all by yourself, you want to check sharpening, repair, and exchange, because I always say it's better to have everything going for you. And then put your info on there and then take it to the... See, people go, do I go to UPS? Do I insure it? I usually ship USPS. I've never had a problem. So I will say I can't guarantee anything happening, but I always say if you feel better about insuring it, insurance is a great way for companies to make money. But I've never had a package. I always say just get the tracking. But this is like a label I already pre-made for a Black Card customer. If you're a Black Card customer and you want to send your stuff in, message me. So then we would just tape that over that and send it to Cutco. It'll get there in 2 or 3 days. Standard turnaround time on factory service is about 2 to 3 weeks. So if you send it in ground and you send it in and it's going to go over the weekend a few days, and you'll usually get there in 5 or 7 days. Guys, Daddy's on a video. It'll get there in 5 or 7 days. The factory has about a 3 to 5 day work kind of turnaround policy, and then it's going to take you another 5 to 7 days to get back to you. So once again, hopefully that helps. Feel free to reach out if you need anything. I'll be glad to send you as much stuff as I can. If you are coming to one of my events, always take advantage of the factory service, because the stuff literally comes back like brand new. So thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you watching, and Happy New Year, okay? And if anybody wants to watch Little Munchkins, we are paying you in Cutco bucks, because all they love doing is just run around like crazy. In a good way. We love you. God bless, and Happy New Year, everybody.